Give me your favorite Jordan memory.
My favorite Jordan memory probably be, well, he did have a dunk. I was at the game when he dunked on Ewing and Charles Oakley. It was amazing to be sitting courtside to see that. Back then, as you know, Susie, they used to put us the media courtside. Now we sit, I think, above the rafters above the banners
lot.
that are hanging down. But it would be for me, it would be the shot that he took against Brian Russell, because you thought this was going to be it for edition of the Chicago Bulls, and that Michael Jordan may not play again. He ended up playing again, but that was his last ever shot in a Bulls uniform. It was pretty cool. Whether or not he pushed off, the Utah Jazz will still complain about that, but that was a pretty cool moment.
Quick question. Do you think that's why he had his tongue out all the time, so people could check and see if he had strep throat?
Look at you. I like that. I like that. You know, I think they used to tell him at North Carolina that he had to be careful because they were always worried that he might bite his tongue off.
Yeah.
Yep,
Man, really?
Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh my God. And now we're
Something I've never done, bitten my tongue.
No.
No, but sometimes I wish I did a little bit more often, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Frank.
By the way, what do you think of, do you have a question? Want to hop in?
I just wanted to ask what your dog's name is.
How do you know?
What do you
I have a
mean?
dog.
This is what I do for a living. I know things about people.
Yeah.
Now, my dog
she knows the code to your phone.
By the way, sorry, honey.
My dog's name is Gigi. We named her after the famous Italian goalie, Gigi Buffon.
Ooh.
So she responds to, can you see her there?
Oh, is this on your
Pull back a
Instagram?
little bit. There you go.
Oh,
there you
cute.
go.
What a baby.
No, she's unbelievable dog. I love dogs. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. Maybe you can dog sit mine. She's only destroyed half my house.
I'll do it for free. I'll do it. I love dogs.
We are a very dog-friendly show here, as long as you rescue. Otherwise, we hold a grudge. But that's just me. That's just me?
Yeah.
No, rescue all day.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What about Giannis? What do we think? Where's he going to land? He's not staying in Milwaukee. I mean, come on.
You know this. He's going to go to Astoria, Queens, the home of the biggest Greek population, I think, outside of Athens, Greece. Now, I don't know. I still think it has to come, will he go to Milwaukee and say, it might be the best thing for me and the best thing for you if I get traded? I know he loves it there. He likes the whole small city thing. I think if he goes anywhere, I think Houston makes so much sense. Houston has done this before, where they went out and got Clyde Drexler, they got Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen, James Harden. There's also something else at work there. The coach, Ime Udoka, Nigerian roots. You have Akeem Olajuwon, Nigerian roots. The same thing with Giannis Antetokounmpo. They have the assets that I think would satisfy the Milwaukee Bucks. So I don't think it's the craziest thing. I could just picture him in a Houston uniform if he's not wearing a Milwaukee Buck uniform next year.
Yeah, I don't think he's wearing a Buck uniform. I think there's just I think you're going to see a lot of changes in Milwaukee, unfortunately for them. Don't you believe so?
Yeah.
I'm not talking code here. I mean, I'm talking it could be a wholesale change for Milwaukee.
No, I think you're right. And that's why for Damian Lillard, remember, he wanted to go to Miami. The Milwaukee Bucks traded for him. And then part of that trade was Drew Holiday goes to Boston. So the trade certainly worked out for Boston because Drew Holiday won a championship there. Miami's been terrible. Not terrible, but they haven't been very good the last 2 years. And Milwaukee, I think with Damian Lillard and Giannis together, I think they've won one playoff game. And, of course, Damian Lillard has the Achilles. So Giannis could be off playing somewhere else, maybe in Houston, and Damian Lillard would be recovering from Achilles surgery next season.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yep.
Who's the sneaky surprise team that could put a package together for him?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know what? I wouldn't rule out Brooklyn just because he's been linked there before, and it is New York, so maybe that's the possibility. The Golden State Warriors, I don't know how they would do it. For a lot of these teams, it's going to be difficult. But I think, you look at Golden State and what Steph Curry said yesterday on the exit interviews, the whole idea of Jimmy Butler, Draymond, even Steve Kerr, the head coach, and Steph all have 2 years left on their contracts. Doesn't mean that none of them will be there beyond the next 2 years, but he kind of made it clear that our window is 2 more years. And if they could somehow go out, they have a ton of draft picks. I don't know about Jonathan Kuminga, if that would interest Milwaukee. But I also wouldn't rule out Golden State just because I think they'll try to go all in to get a player like Giannis.
Bingo. That's what I was thinking. I wouldn't put it past Steve Kerr to be working on something like that because they're not done there. Every time I read something like Steph Curry's window is closing, I'm like, is it though? I mean, he's got time. Is it
Go
really?
watch him play. Go watch him play in person, and go watch him warm up and see if his time's close to being done. That guy's still a brilliant player.
I mean, some fat guy in a bar is like, "Oh yeah, his window's closing." I'm like, "Is it really? It looked pretty good to me."
It's always that fat guy in the bar.
Frank, it's always the fat guy in the bar.
It always is.
It's always the fat guy in the bar.
The Philly girl knows.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.